We run to everything and everyone for healing, except the one who created healing itself. We Google gut cleanses. We sip ginger shots. We try supplements we can't even pronounce. We chase therapists, retreats, routines, looking for someone to finally quiet the storm inside. But what if the thing that could have started your healing was something you ignored? Not a miracle cure, not $1,000 session, just 3 lines. 3 simple lines of dhikr after Asr. Most of us don't even know what those lines are. We pray Asr distracted, scrolling, multitasking, or worse, we skip it. And then we wonder why our chest feels tight, why our body feels off, why our life feels stuck in invisible quicksand. But hidden inside this quiet window between Asr and Maghrib is something rare, a secret, a moment the Prophet Muhammad specifically spoke about. Not for barakah, not for reward, but for protection, spiritual protection, physical protection, emotional protection, and for healing, the kind this world can't offer you. This isn't a motivational clip. It's not spiritual background noise with lofi Qur'an and butterflies. This is a wake-up call. For anyone tired of looking for answers everywhere, except where it actually begins. And it begins here, with what Allah already gave you. Something your soul's been starving for while your body chased substitutes. Dhikr, real dhikr, the kind that doesn't just pass through your lips, but lands on your heart like calm after storm. Say it with meaning. Say it with presence, because the Prophet promised. If you say these words 3 times in the evening, then nothing can harm you until morning. Not sickness, not seer, not black magic. Not emotional fatigue, not the invisible energy that wraps your soul in silence. But most of us don't even say it once. Why? Because it's too simple. And we've been fooled into believing that only complicated things can heal complicated wounds. So we scroll, we search, we spend. Meanwhile, the thing we truly needed sat quietly, right after Asr. There are forces that affect us, and we can't always see them. The envy of others, the silent stare of hasad, the touch of seer, jinn interference, emotional heaviness that wraps around your chest like it owns you, anxiety that doesn't have a reason, even physical pain with no diagnosis. And while most people run from expert to expert, you are already given a divine shield. When you say this dhikr after Asr, you're not just reciting words. You are stepping inside a force field designed by the Prophet Muhammad himself. A protection for his ummah, for you, because he knew what would come. He knew that evil would become subtle, that distraction would become constant, that healing would be replaced with scrolling. And here's the part most of us miss. That one powerful dhikr? That's not all. Scholars have passed down more, layers of remembrance and istighfar, specifically tied to this window between Asr and Maghrib. They weren't random suggestions. They were lifelines. And if you've been treating Asr like just another salah, this is your sign. It's not just one of 5. It's a gateway, a portal into unseen mercy. And today, you take it back. Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you made istighfar? Like your life depended on it? Not the casual astaghfirullah between YouTube videos. Not the automatic habit when you stub your toe or mess up. I mean real istighfar, where every word feels like an apology your soul has been aching to make, where your lips say it slowly and your heart whispers, Ya Allah, I need you. I want to return to you. You see, most people don't realize this. Sincere istighfar is one of the most underrated healing tools in all of Islam. You're not just seeking forgiveness for a sin. You're asking Allah to unlock your chest, clean the guilt, calm your thoughts, and soften what hardened inside. You think your fatigue is physical, but what if it's your soul that's tired? You think your risk is blocked because of effort, but what if it's blocked because of accumulated sins you forgot to seek forgiveness for? Some people are chasing wealth with perfect CVs and spotless effort. And still, everything keeps falling through because they haven't cleared what's sitting between them and divine opening. And it's not luck. It's not failure. Sometimes it's just build-up, resentment, guilt, shame, sins you brushed off, pain you never spoke about. and your soul carries it all until it starts leaking into your body. The tension, the migraines, the sleepless nights, the numbness, that feeling of heaviness you can't explain, but can't ignore either. So if the meds aren't working, if the energy feels blocked, if the doors keep closing, maybe, just maybe, your soul isn't asking for treatment. It's asking to be cleaned, to be forgiven, to be heard. So today after adhkar, just try. Sit quietly. Say, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Not loudly, not performatively. Just real. Not because you're perfect, but because you're done pretending to be fine. Start with 3, then 5, then 10. Let it grow from your honesty, not your routine. Because healing doesn't always start in the hospital. Sometimes it starts in a whisper between you and the one who never needed prescription to heal you. And as your istighfar becomes more sincere, your body will start to feel lighter, not because life got easier, but because your soul finally let go of what was never meant to carry. There are wounds that don't bleed, and pain that no MRI will find. It's that ache you bring into sujud, that tightness behind your smile, that sadness that lives just behind your eyes. You can't explain it, but you know it's real. The prophet Yunus felt it too, not from heartbreak, not from burnout, but from complete isolation, alone, hopeless, trapped in the belly of a whale. He didn't give a speech. He didn't scream. He didn't spiral. He said, "There is no God but you. Glory be to you. Truly, I was among the wrongdoers." That's it. No drama. Just surrender. And the Prophet Muhammad promised, whoever makes dua with these words, Allah will respond, no matter how deep the pain, no matter how long the wait. So if your sadness has stayed longer than it should, if nothing else has helped, then start here. After ASR, say it once, 3 times, 10, however many times your heart needs. Not because it's magic, but because it's real, because it's yours, and because your healing is waiting, not in noise, but in your return. Not because it's magic, but because Allah hears, because His messenger promised that this line carries power. Say it when you're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering what's wrong. Say it when you're stuck in traffic and your mind starts spiraling. Say it when your chest tightens and you can't even explain why. Say it because healing doesn't always come from someone else. Sometimes it comes from you finally turning back to the one who never left. And if there's one secret most people miss, it's this. Salawat is not just a sunnah. It's a lifeline, a shield, a weapon, a whispered connection to the one man who would have cried for your forgiveness if he knew your name, Prophet Muhammad. But we've turned it into a formula, something rushed at the end of our duas, an afterthought. Then we wonder, why does a heaviness still sit in our chest? Why do our prayers feel blocked? Why does the same fear follow us from salah to salah? But the Prophet said, whoever sends one blessing upon me, Allah sends 10 blessings back upon him, 10 sins erased, 10 ranks elevated, and we still treat it like background noise. But let's be honest, you're not just carrying sadness. You're carrying uncertainty about the future, fear of being alone, stress about provision, worry that won't leave, no matter how much you try to distract yourself. That doesn't always need a doctor, but it does need salawat, because when you remember the Prophet, Allah remembers you. And what more comfort could you possibly ask for than to be remembered by the one who wrote your pain and is now writing your healing? So don't rush it. After ASR, sit, close your eyes, and say, Sallallahu alayhi wasallam, once, twice, again, until the weight gets softer, until your soul remembers. It was never meant to carry this pain alone. Salawat softens the heart. It bridges you back into your other adhkar. It realigns your tongue. It connects you to the only man in human history whose tears could have included your name. The ones who say salawat regularly, they carry a kind of calm that doesn't make sense to this world. Not because their life is easier, but because they know who to give their burdens to. Let's not overcomplicate this. This wasn't just another Islamic video. It was something your heart's been quietly asking for. A reminder that Allah doesn't leave His servants sick and hopeless, even when that's exactly how the pain feels. Some of us aren't just carrying physical wounds. We're carrying emotional ones, spiritual ones, wounds that don't show up in blood tests, that medicine can't reach, and that no one around us even sees. You've tried the doctors, the routines, the self-help, but you are not just a body. You are a soul, and your soul has prescriptions too. These adhkar, they weren't added to Islam for decoration. They were revealed as treatment. They quiet the panic. They cool the heat of financial stress. They straighten what anxiety has twisted. They bring back to you. You've been missing. Because Allah knows your pain better than you do. And He gave you these words for a reason. Don't wait for rock bottom. Don't wait for breakdown. If you're still here, still breathing, then healing is still possible. But you have to show up. Not perfectly. Not with flawless Ameen. Just consistently. Just sincerely. Just honestly. Say the adhkar after Asr. Every day. Before Maghrib. Until you feel the weight lift. Until you begin to feel like you again. This isn't spiritual entertainment. And we didn't make this video for views. We're here because we're all carrying something that only Allah can heal. So before you scroll, leave one final thing behind. A dua for yourself or for someone you love. Type it below not as a comment, but as a sincere request. Ya Allah, heal every pain, physical, emotional, or financial, that weighs heavy on me. Because maybe your healing is hidden in someone else's Ameen. Or maybe someone else's healing is waiting on yours. And if this touched something in you, don't just scroll away. Like it, share it, send it to someone who might be silently drowning. Not because we need the views, but because maybe, just maybe, they were this close to the healing that was always waiting. After Asr. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.